Welcome to the Workamper Show, a podcast devoted to helping you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. I'm Steve Anderson, the president of Workamper News. Each one of our episodes will either introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to opportunities to work short-term jobs. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Thank you, Steve. Today I'm interviewing a woman who is passionate about helping other single women discover the joys of RVing and to do so in a safe, memorable way. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. With its Diamond and Platinum membership tools, Workamper News is much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. The one-year memberships open the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with a community of work campers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then a Diamond or Platinum membership is for you. You can even get started with a free 30-day trial by visiting www.workamper.com/trial. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. Kathy Belge is the founder of Solo Women RV, a platform where she shares stories about her travels and offers advice to inspire women, especially those traveling by themselves, to enjoy the freedom of RVing. She maintains a blog and produces a podcast too. Kathy nicknamed her 20-foot 1999 American Cruiser Class B motorhome Squeaky because of all the creaks and groans the RV emits as it travels down the road. For many years, she also traveled with Olive, a big Alaskan Malamute who passed away just a few weeks ago. Now she has a kitten who is getting accustomed to the RV life. Her passion is to help women build confidence and skills to RV safely, whether they travel alone or with someone else. Traveling is something Kathy has done since her 20s when she literally walked across America. She started RVing after renting an RV on her 40th birthday and realized that it created many more travel opportunities for her to enjoy. She believes RVing offers healing power to women by helping them overcome limitations they've imposed on their lives. By getting out of their comfort zones and enjoying new experiences, women realize they possess hidden strength and skills that have been dormant for years. Taking that first step is often the most difficult, but Kathy offers advice on how to muster the courage to do just that. Kathy is from Portland, Oregon, and she's worked several work camping jobs as a volunteer campground host for the Oregon State Parks, and she's hoping to do more work camping this summer. To tell us more about her adventures and her motivation for creating Solo Women RV, please welcome its founder, Kathy Belge, to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Kathy. I appreciate your time. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, thanks, Greg. It's really great to be on here. So I am a solo woman RVer, and I'm also the host of the Solo Women RV podcast and Solo Women RV website. So my big passion is actually to get other women to build the confidence and skills to get out there and RV, whether they have someone to go with or not.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And how long have you been solo RVing?
Just about 4 years now.
Okay.
And I'm not full time, but I like to get out. The longest I traveled at any one point was 8 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what do you do when you're not RVing?
I live in Portland, Oregon. And I am one of those people that has just like a bunch of side hustles that kind of keeps the bills rolling in. Greg actually left my job in 2020 with the intention of taking a year to travel, and literally quit my job on March 15th, the day everything shut down. Oh. And so it kind of put a halt to what my travel plans were. And but it ended up actually being kind of a cool thing, because after things started to open back up a bit, I still didn't feel quite confident about just heading off on this cross-country journey. So I started camp hosting as a volunteer at Oregon State Parks.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
so I've done that for three different Oregon parks at this point, and potentially we'll do it again this summer.
Very good. What type of RV do you have?
I have a Class B. It is a 20-year-old RV. It's called an American Cruiser, and it's just I just love it because it's got a very unique layout. It's different than a lot of the other Class Bs that are out there with the side door. It has a rear entry, and it just feels to me like it creates a more spacious environment. And it also allows me to have the bed and the dinette set up all the time.
Mhm.
I don't need to take either one down to use the other.
Oh, that's a very good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that 20, if you owned it for 20, it's 20 years old. That means it's broken in now, right?
Oh, it's broken in, and as your listeners know, I've had quite a bit of repairs
Is that,
involved in the 4 years that I've owned it. Yeah.
oh, is that right? Okay. Are you fixing this yourself? Have you learned how to do that?
You know what? I work on some of the RV type, the house stuff myself. I put in my own water heater, or not water heater, sorry, water pump.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the mechanical van stuff, I let the mechanics deal with that.
I'd agree with that. That can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, why did you select a Class B?
You know what? I that was always my dream. Originally, my original dream was like the Volkswagen. But once I started to do my research, it's just me. It was me and my dog at the time. My dog just passed away actually
Mm-hmm.
1 week ago today. Um, but I didn't need a lot of space, and I didn't want to be driving something big and bulky. And yeah, I also didn't want a trailer. I knew I would be terrible at backing it up. And also, I wanted, there's this thing that people talk about is wanting your steering wheel where your bed is for safety.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something I had definitely considered. I like it all. I feel like a little turtle with everything on my back. I
Okay.
just like that it's really simple and everything I need is right there.
Okay. Very good. Now, I've not heard of people saying that you want to have the steering wheel by your bed. So, uh, is that just so that you can get out of an area quickly if you need to?
Yeah, so it's one
Okay.
of the definitely hanging out. If you've hung out in any of the women's RV forums, we talk a lot about safety. And one of the things we talk about is always pointing your vehicle out so that you can leave if you need to, so you don't have to back out. And one of the other things to consider is, yeah, especially if you're out doing like a lot of boondocking and whatnot, if someone came around in the middle of the night, you wouldn't want to have to leave your travel trailer to go outside into your truck to pull away to leave. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that, it wasn't my number one concern, because honestly, I don't really let the fear prevent me from doing anything. But it's definitely a consideration.
Mm-hmm. Always something to be mindful of anyway, at least when you're parking and
Yeah.
you have options and things like that.
Yeah.
Right. What prompted you to start RVing?
You know what? I've always loved travel, and like, something unique about me is when I was in my 20s, I walked across the United States. And ever since that, I've just had this total love and fascination of exploring our country. I love so much about the US, all the little towns and the diversity
Mhm.
of it. And so on my 40th birthday, when I turned 40, I rented an RV. This was back before there was like all the places you can rent. And went to the Grand Canyon in Sedona, which were two places on my bucket list. And ever since I did that, I just wanted to RV. And then shortly after that, I went through a breakup, and so it kind of felt like I couldn't do this, like I needed a partner or whatever. And then slowly, it came to the realization that I didn't need somebody to come with me
Mm-hmm.
for my dream to come true. And so um, I bought my RV in 2018 and have traveled all by myself all over and just have never looked back.
That's wonderful. You had mentioned that you were walking across America.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry, I
did
kind
you
of.
do it from coast to coast?
Yeah, so back in 1986, and I was a young college student, I was involved in the peace movement for nuclear disarmament. And there was a peace march that walked from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C.
Oh my.
There
Wow.
was about 500 of us, and it took about 9 months.
9 months. Well, that's cool. Huh.
Yeah.
So walking over the mountains and the deserts and the
We
farmland and
walked
all of that.
we walked over the Loveland Pass and through the Mojave Desert. Yeah.
That's
Stayed in we're furloughed for a while in Barstow, California, when we kind of ran out of money. There's a whole story about it. If people are interested, they can definitely Google the Great Peace March for Global Nuclear Disarmament.
Is that
There's a
right?
whole story behind that. Yeah.
Very good. So an RV is much more comfortable way of traveling and faster too.
Well, yeah, I also spent a lot of time tent camping, but after I got into my 40s, I really wanted I think when I rented that RV on my 40th birthday, that really spoiled me because we were in the Grand Canyon and thunderstorms would roll in every night. And we were so comfy in our little warm RV while we were sitting there looking down at all the tent people getting soaked. So
Yes.
that just sold me. Yeah. No more getting up and on the ground anymore.
Oh, that's right. I'm at 61. It would take me half a day to get down to the ground and then another half a day to get up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you support yourself with the website and the podcast? Is that what you said?
Oh gosh, no.
No. Okay.
Right now, the podcast and the website they don't make me any money.
Okay.
That's my passion. I'm hoping this year to monetize it, to be quite frank. So I'm hoping my goal is for this year to get enough sponsors and whatnot so that it's bringing in a little bit of money. I support myself. I'm a freelance writer. I do some contract work in customer service for some travel agencies, and I sell on Amazon and eBay.
Okay. So there's a multiple income streams, which is what Workamper teaches people is a good thing to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, and I'm actually applying for a work camping position. I haven't heard back yet, so fingers crossed. I might be doing a work camping job this summer.
This summer, that'd be fun. Looked at some of the things that you've blogged about and you've talked to people about on your podcast, and one of those is that there's some healing power involved in solo RVing. Why don't you dive into that a little bit as to what you mean by that and what kind of healing power there is?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that as women, a lot of times we put ourselves in these boxes that some of it's based in reality, but some of it's just in our own heads of fear. And I think once we step out of our comfort zone, they say when you step out of your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. And so in the course of doing my podcast, I've just talked to so many different women who feel like solo RVing has really changed their lives. I interviewed one woman who, was literally told by her doctors to go home and make her arrangements. They didn't think she was going to live. And instead she bought an RV and went traveling, and just the reduction of stress in her life, her health improved. She changed her diet, and she's been traveling now, I think for 5 or 6 years. I can't remember exactly. So physically, but also, women who are, maybe they've gone through a divorce and now they find themselves single, or a woman who is now an empty nester. And they head out and they just realize there's this whole world out there to explore, but also they realize how much strength they have inside themselves and how much they are capable of and how much they can really do. It's hard to explain, but I resonate with every one of these women when they tell that story, because personally, I grew up in a large family. I was in a relationship for many years and I didn't do a lot by myself, until my divorce. And then I ended up going hiking by myself one day, and it was really scary to do that. But then I came out of it wow, I did that, And so I think, I don't know, I think as women, we're given a lot of messages that it's not a safe world out out there for us. But truth is, we're no more unsafe in an RV than we are in our homes or in our own cities. Actually, in some ways, we're probably safer traveling, within RVs.
I'd agree with that. Right. And when
Yeah.
you're traveling alone, you're not really alone either because there are other women around you, right? There are
Yeah, I mean,
and a lot of
it depends on where you go and where you
Mhm.
camp.
Yep.
I personally, I haven't done a ton of boondocking. I want to do more, out there all alone, but I'd like camping in established campgrounds, in state parks, in national forest. I do a lot of harvest hosts. So yeah,
Mhm.
and you're usually not alone. You can usually meet people.
Right. And so it's not like even when you're out there, like you said, with harvest hosts, there are other people around and things like that. Unless people
Yeah.
really like to get away from it all and then go out deep in the woods somewhere and go RVing, there's always people around, usually in most RV parks and campgrounds that I'm aware of.
Yeah. And so, whatever your comfort zone is and whatever type of camping you like to do. I've definitely talked to some women who do prefer to go off all by themselves, and that's where they want to be,
Hmm.
but it doesn't have to be like that.
Right. I'd agree. Uh, what was the biggest thing, the motivator for you to take that first step? I'm sure taking that making that first step in any direction is always the most difficult thing. And then once you make it, the inertia just drives you forward. But what helped you get the courage to make that first step?
So it was a combination of a couple of things. One is I had a sabbatical from my job coming up. I was given a month to do whatever I wanted.
Nice.
And the second thing that coincided with that was my dad had passed and I got a tiny inheritance.
Okay.
And so I had money to buy an RV and I had time to take a trip. So that's what I did.
Okay. Very good. And so
Yeah.
you weren't afraid at that point to step out. You had been doing some research and things like that. You knew what to expect.
I had been going to RV shows for years, and um, I don't think I really knew what to expect, but that's okay. I just decided people that, I worked at a travel company and people I knew took trips all over the world by themselves. And to me, that seemed really scary.
Mm-hmm.
But to get in an RV didn't seem that scary because it felt safer to me somehow.
Okay. That's fair
Yeah.
enough. What are some of the favorite places you visited in your RV?
I really, really love Montana.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in Oregon, which I have to say that that's my favorite place. There's so much here. We have mountains, we have high desert, we have
Ocean.
the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love that Oregon has amazing state parks. I love to stay in the Oregon state parks. But as far as places outside of Oregon, I really enjoyed Montana a lot. I hope to get back there. In Colorado, I love Durango and some of the hot springs areas like Pagosa Springs and that kind of stuff.
Sounds like you like the outdoors and the more natural areas.
I do. I love to be outdoors and I love to hike. But also I'd love to, one of the things I also love about my RV is it lets me go visit people in other places, friends that I have. Like when I was in Colorado, I think I visited like 4 or 5 different friends in different areas of Colorado. So, sometime parking in their driveway and sometimes just out by myself. It's nice to split up a big long trip like that with visits to friends.
And the best part about bringing an RV like that and staying in their driveway is that you're visiting your friends, but you have that separation. So
Exactly.
you're really intruding on their space and their routines and things like that. You can have dinner and then go out into the parking or into
Yeah.
the driveway and spend the night in their driveway and get together later the next day.
Exactly. Yes. Maybe take advantage of their shower, but other than that.
That would be helpful. Is the Class B that you have one of the showers, or is it one of
Yeah, I
these?
do have a shower,
Okay.
but it uses a lot of water and I usually have to
Okay.
empty the tank like right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
uh, what are the greatest safety considerations for women who are traveling by themselves?
I think one of the biggest considerations that I think people don't talk about is to have a vehicle that is maintained. so that you're not stuck with a breakdown somewhere that you don't want to be. The other thing I just like to say, and as women, we know this, we have really good intuition. I'm sure men do as well. But a lot of times we talk ourselves out of are the feelings that we have. So to just listen to your gut. There's definitely been times when I've pulled in somewhere where I thought, this doesn't feel quite right, and I've moved on. So just listen to that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the other thing I like to say is, go at your own pace. Start slow. Start somewhere close to home. Start somewhere where you feel familiar, that you can turn around and go back home if there's not, if you're not real comfortable.
That's a really good suggestion, so that you don't have to, embrace this thing by traveling from Oregon all the way to New York in one trip and get, hundreds of miles away from home, and then realize that, this just isn't the way for me, or no resources available to help you when you're that far away.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. My first trip I took to the Oregon coast. The other thing I want to tell people is to not be afraid to ask for help. When I was getting started, someone suggested that to me. And, I drive a 20-foot van. It's not that long. But the first time I took it out and had to back it in somewhere, and it was a pretty tight spot, I asked for help. And because she said that, don't be afraid. Otherwise, I probably would have been like, and I got a spot. I asked somebody who was camped next if they would help spot me. I said I was brand new. It was my first time. And, nobody, and they were actually happy to help. And then, we just sat around talking about RVing, and I learned so much from them. And there was like another couple behind them, and we all just kind of gathered and chatted, and that was kind of cool, because I feel like that was the first time I realized I just became part of this like subculture. Like, wow, I'm in this new subculture now of people who RV, and I love it.
When I was RVing full time, I found that to be the case, that people were generally very friendly and always willing to help. And because I too traveled alone, and so it was difficult for me to spot a 35-foot motorhome when I was trying to back it into a camp spot and things like that. But other people were willing to help, and it is a nice community. And once you get to know people and forge those friendships, it just takes on a life of its own.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now I'm part of a bunch of different Facebook groups, and I've met up with people in real life, and it's just been really great to form this new community.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of some women going to the point of putting men's boots outside the door of their RV and things like that to kind of give the impression that they're not alone. Do you recommend that?
Yeah, I've heard people doing that. It's not something that I personally do, but whatever makes you feel comfortable. Some women carry weapons. That's not something that I feel comfortable with. Whatever is going to make you feel safe, go ahead and do that. Mm-hmm. For me, like I said, I've been out here 4 years, and I really I've had some experiences where I've maybe felt scared, but nothing has happened.
Mm-hmm. Does having a dog help?
Yeah, I had a big dog, an Alaskan Malamute.
Wow.
And she was also very protective of me. Mm-hmm. So I did feel safe with her. So it's going to be different now to see what it's like to travel without her.
Right. Are you thinking of getting another dog?
I actually got a kitten. And so I'm going to try traveling without a dog for a while and travel with my cat.
From a massive dog to a kitten. That will be different.
I've taken her camping. So when I came off the road, I came off the road because of my dog. She wasn't doing well. And I got the kitten in the interim. And so I left the dog home a few times and went with just the kitten. And she's done great. She loves the backpack. She's got a little harness. Mm-hmm. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos of people who do camp with their cats, and people are doing it.
Very good. Now, when you feel uncomfortable and things like that, you had mentioned at some point where you were trusting your gut. Do you just get up and leave, or is that your preferred course of action in those kinds of things? Or What other
Yeah, I'm
kinds of,
thinking about there was this one town that I remember I had visited there maybe 10 years ago, and I really liked it. I was there on a magical like Christmas morning. It was in Colorado and it was like gorgeous. And I remember horses and all this stuff. And so I thought I would go back there, and I pulled into this town, and boy, it had changed. It was I got a real strong, to put it bluntly, like meth vibe
oh
there.
my,
And I just like, okay, not staying here, and just up and went to the wherever I went next. I don't remember where I went after that, but I've definitely done that. I had a scary situation last summer where I ended up camping in this it was a, I think, Forest Service site, and up the road away was a dispersed camping that actually had a bunch of
questionable people.
let's just say, probably, well, I don't want to use the word homeless in a disparaging way, because not everyone who's down on their luck is necessarily unsafe, but there was definitely, again, a strong drug vibe going on, and there was a lot of racket at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
But the racket was happening down the road, which was kind of blocking my way out.
Mm-hmm.
So I carry bear spray. I just kind of grabbed my bear spray and just sort of sat there, like just a little vigilant. No one did approach my RV, but there was a lot of racket and yelling. And I think maybe a gunshot or a firecracker went off.
Oh, wow.
And
It would be a little unnerving.
yeah, but unfortunately, and where it was happening was basically the road, like the way out. So I decided to stick my ground. But that was probably the scariest night I had ever in my RV. And there were other people camped around, and I had actually chatted with a woman who was camping there earlier, and I knew she was there with her husband too. So I had a little bit of a community that I knew was there if anything did happen.
So again, you were alone, but not really alone. There was
Yeah.
there was always somebody there that kind of to provide emotional and physical reinforcement if necessary, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. Have you ever been treated differently, either in the RV industry or by other RVers, because you were traveling by yourself?
That's a great question. And I'm going to say yes. I feel like I have been not treated well by mechanics,
Yes.
not necessarily in the RV industry, but well, actually one was an RV repair place. Yeah. And sad to say, when I have work done now, I bring a male friend along just to be there, because I really feel like women are treated differently. When you find a place that doesn't treat women differently, like that's definitely keep going back to that place. But yeah, it's still a thing, unfortunately.
Would you recommend that women take a mechanical course like the RV Fundamentals class at the National RV Training Academy to kind of understand how the systems work on their RV so that they are better equipped to have those conversations with mechanics?
Yeah, 100%. You just feel so vulnerable. I was out in central eastern Oregon, and my van was having issues, and I knew there was something wrong, and I had a sense of what it was, and they were saying it was this thing, but I didn't have enough. I don't know enough to really argue with them. And so, yeah.
Do you have to get a
Definitely
second?
get some education, 100%. So you're not so vulnerable.
In that instance, did you get a second opinion?
What ended up happening was I had like a male friend was coming out to visit me this was when I was campground hosting, was coming out to visit me, and he came to the mechanics with me and really helped. I think they were probably right. But it was just that uneasy feeling of like, I don't know. And I feel like, they wanted, like, it was like $1,000 repair. And I was like, wait a minute, so.
Right. And
yeah,
that happens to single male RVers too. Let me tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah. I mean, when you're driving a 20-year-old vehicle, you're going to expect to have repairs.
Right.
Absolutely. But the more definitely the better.
But as far as the RVers themselves that you've encountered, have they treated you any differently being a solo woman on the road?
God, the only thing is sometimes I have women who are traveling with their husbands that come up and say, "Oh my God, you're so brave," or
Hmm.
things like that. Um, that's it. No, I've never had any kind of discrimination. More just like, "Wow, look at you," and I'm like, "Yeah, you could do it too." This-
That's right. Yeah. Is there any equipment or apps that you find particularly helpful or even indispensable in RVing?
um, so for me, I actually a couple things. One is I kind of have I don't know if it's a phobia, but I just have like this fear of getting lost. And so I have a lot of things to ensure that I don't get lost because I don't want to rely on just my phone. I have a RV specific GPS that I use, and then I rely a lot also on my paper maps. I love the benchmark maps. And also all the AAA, the free maps that you get from AAA. So um, that's one thing I do. And then as far as like camping apps and whatnot, I love the Dirt. That's an app that I use a lot. And the Harvest Host app as well. The another you talked about an accessory. The thing that one of my favorite accessories that I use probably the most are my little inflatable solar lights. It's called the Lucy light, I believe, and you just leave it in the dash, and it charges all day, and then at night it's this little light. You blow it up, and it will light up your whole van for days.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah,
the
they're
Lucy
great.
light. Okay.
Lucy light, I love them.
Okay.
Number one thing, like whenever I buy someone a gift who's going to get started in RVing or camping, I buy this.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So there's no other equipment that you found particularly helpful? Living in a Class B is a little different than a Class C or a Class A. The space is
Yeah.
confined and things like that.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you found to structure all the stuff so that it works well for you?
Yeah. One other thing, speaking of being in a small space, I'm a huge bicyclist and I love to bike. And the way my RV is set up, because the doors in the rear, you can't really install a bike rack in the back. So I ended up getting a bicycle that folds up small enough that it fits in my bathroom.
Really?
So, yeah, it's called a Brompton. It's an English bike, and I absolutely love it because when I get to a place, I love to get out and just ride around and explore.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of my very favorite things that I have. That's not a cheap thing. That's an expensive thing that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are into the electric bikes these days. I couldn't carry one of those in my van.
Right.
But the other thing is, I just am organized with my clothing. I love, the packing cubes that people use they put them in their suitcases when they travel.
Mm-hmm.
So I use those in my cupboards where I store my clothes so that they're a little more organized and not flying out everywhere.
Oh, that's a good idea. Are there any lessons that you've had to learn the hard way while you've been RVing?
Oh God, a big one recently. So I winterized my RV and I put the cover on, and I had to have a friend come help me put the cover on because it's a 2-person job. And I had backed it up a little bit to make space so that we could get the ladder up and everything to put it on. And then my friend left, and I thought that I could just drive the couple feet back to snug up with the garage. And sadly I could, you can't see, I'm like driving blind basically, and I ran into my garage door.
Oh no.
So I have to get it. Luckily my van is fine, but I do need a new garage door.
Oops.
So yeah, I definitely learned that one the hard way. Don't drive with your RV cover on. I know it's really stupid.
Do you have any advice that you would give to women who are about to embark on their first RVing experience?
Yeah, my biggest advice is just go at your own pace. Start small. Maybe rent a vehicle first. You don't need to run out and buy something. There's a lot of places now where you can rent. Stay close to home. And maybe like, especially going out by like if you want to do it the very first time, you don't have to go by yourself every time. Like bring a friend along. But go by yourself. I think you'll really learn a lot about yourself by solo travel.
I agree. There's a lot to do. And it's just getting over that initial fear. I've talked to a lot of women who have been solo RVing for years as well. And once they get started, they just love it. It's just coming over that mental block, almost a mental block in there that, you can't do it. You shouldn't do it. It's not safe. You don't have enough skills, talent, or ability to get this done. But trust me, tens of thousands of women are doing it every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes it's an internal voice and sometimes it's external voice. Sometimes the people in our life are, and that's just their fear and we don't need to take it on.
That's a very good point as well. Well-meaning friends and relatives who are like, are you crazy? And no, you just do it and you have a wonderful experience and you'll meet a lot of people along the way and it'll be a fun adventure.
Absolutely.
If people wanted to follow you on your journey, where would they find you or your podcast or your website?
Yeah, thank you. So my podcast is the Solo Women RV Podcast, and my blog is the same name, solowomenrv.com. And my Instagram is kbelge, just my last name, Belge. And I just started a Facebook group too. It's for solo women. I think it's called Solo Women RVers.
Okay.
So all those places.
Very good. Plenty of places for people to connect with you. So
yeah.
I hope they do because there's a lot, like we said, a lot of adventure out there and for people to take, not only couples, but solos. A lot of people can do this. They can also get work camping jobs as solos.
Exactly.
It just takes a little bit more effort or a little bit more reading to look for those jobs that are out there. And so I wish you the best of luck in 2022 as you pursue this new adventure.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This has been really fun.
I'd like to thank Kathy Belge for coming on the show to share her stories and to inspire women to try RVing either by themselves or with someone else. RVing offers Kathy a sense of freedom to travel anywhere and stay anywhere, whether it's in a campground, state park, harvest host location, or even boondocking in a friend's driveway. She explained the most important considerations for women who want to venture out on their own includes ensuring that they keep their RV or tow vehicle well maintained. The other is for women to trust their gut instincts. The situation just doesn't feel right, pack up and head down the road. Women shouldn't be afraid to ask for help either. Kathy found that people are often more than willing to help new RVers back into a site or get hooked up properly. Doing so opens the door to friendships and even learning more from others beyond the initial request for help. By learning as much as she could about how her RV worked, Kathy thinks it helps prevent her from being taken advantage of by mechanics. It's sad, but she's found that taking a male friend to service appointments often works to ensure she's treated better. Living in a relatively small space required Kathy to adapt by creating some unique storage solutions, especially for her bicycle. But she found using storage cubes works well to keep things organized and protected while traveling. The key takeaway for me from Kathy's interview was to be careful of the voices you choose to listen to, whether they are an internal voice suggesting you don't have the skill, knowledge, or ability to do something, or well-meaning friends who say discouraging things out of their own fear. Just because friends and family are convinced that they couldn't go RVing by themselves doesn't mean you shouldn't embrace the lifestyle by yourself. There are literally tens of thousands of solo women RVers crisscrossing the country every day. To connect with Kathy, listen to her podcast, and follow her adventures, visit www.solowomenrv.com. You can also connect with her on Facebook and Instagram. I wish Kathy Belge the best of luck as she pursues her mission to help women confidently pursue the RV lifestyle. Today's episode is sponsored by The Dreamer's Journey. It's an online course and community produced by Workamper News. Life is way too short to keep your dreams on hold, so don't be held back by fear because you were designed for more. Get started in the RV lifestyle the right way with this comprehensive guide. For just $29.95 for 1 year of access, Dreamers have unlimited viewing of 50-plus videos to learn things like what type of RV to buy, goal setting, how to budget for the adventure, developing a positive mindset, setting up a domicile, and operating a small business on the road, plus everything about work camping and how to find the right job for you. Each video is 30 to 90 minutes long to give you an in-depth coverage on each topic. There's no wrong time to get started. So for more information, visit www.rvdreamersjourney.com. That's all I have for this week's show. Next week, I'll be speaking with someone from an RV park in Georgia about an opportunity to live and work along the Atlantic coast. I'll have more details on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thank you for listening.